Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. We're going to be talking about former Teen Mom star Jenelle Evans. You guys, she has shocked the Teen Mom reality TV world once again because apparently she does not know her own son, Jace's age. And the crazy thing is, in an interview where she was talking about Jace, the reporter said his correct age, and Jenelle incorrectly corrected the reporter. So we're going to talk about that in this video. We're also going to talk about what Jace is up to. As we all know, Jenelle sent him to live with his biological dad at the beginning of May. That lasted like a week. And then we found out that he was no longer with his dad through a source. A source spoke out to the Ashley's Reality Roundup as well as to The Sun, which are two media outlets that cover Jenelle and Teen Mom, and told them, like, listen, Jace is no longer there. Elle, you have 6 kids. I know you forget their age. No, if somebody said my son's age, like my kid's age to me, like I might for a second be like, oh, 10. Oh, never mind, he's 11. Like he turned 11 last month. But I think if somebody was like, oh, well, I will tell you this. My son Caden, like I'm constantly saying 16, 16, and then I'm like, he's 17, he's 17, he's 17. But if somebody was like, I mean, she's got 3 kids. I got 6. You know what I'm saying? Even in the like, when I was doing a video about Caitlin and Tyler, I was like, if somebody messaged my 16-year-old son, my 16-year-old son, and I was like, never mind, he's 17. He's 17. Now, I think it's a lot easier to keep up with your kid's age if you probably have like 2 or 3 of them. When you have 6, it may be a little bit more difficult. But if somebody was like, oh, your 17-year-old son, I don't think I would be like, oh no, actually he's about to be 16. If somebody was like, oh, he's about to be 17, or well, for my son, he's 17. If somebody was like, your son that's about to be 18, he's 17, he's about to be 18, I don't think I would be like, oh no, he's about to be 17. Somebody commented, I did a video about this on TikTok, and somebody said, well, it's hard to remember his age. Do you remember your sibling's age? And I'm like, I do, but only because we're really close in age. And then someone else said something along the lines of like, well, she didn't raise him, so it's probably hard for her to remember his age. But not only that, we're going to go into Jenelle in this interview. She talked about what went wrong with Jace living with Andrew. Here's the thing. I've watched 4 interviews that Jenelle has done over the past 2 days. It's a lot easier to keep up with their ages if you give a crap about them. That's a true story too. So I've watched 4 interviews over the past like 2 days that Jenelle has done in the past couple of days that they've released recently, right? And what's really funny is she is telling a different version of events concerning Jace in each video, right? In each interview. So really quickly, we're going to go over 2 articles from the Ashley's Reality Roundup that's giving like updates. We're going to play the clip where she gets his age wrong. And then I'm going to talk to you guys. We're going to play a longer clip where she goes in depth about what went wrong with Jace living with his dad. Jace is back at Jenelle's house. She's going to talk about what went wrong. And I'm going to tell you guys how she's contradicting herself from the interview that we're going to watch versus another one that I watched like maybe last night. So the Ashley Realities Roundup has 2 articles out. Let's go over this one that talks about where he lives really quickly. I know, right? Kids, don't do drugs. All right. All right, Jenelle reveals where her son Jace is now and why her plan to have him live with his dad failed. This is actually in the interview, but okay. Get off there. Jenelle Evans' son, Jace, is once again living with her in Las Vegas after a short and disastrous attempt at living with his father, Andrew Lewis. Now, let's keep in mind what a source said. A source said Jace did not want to go. Jenelle made him go. The source also said that Jenelle did not come up there to make sure that Andrew was sober, and that they did not say that Andrew was not sober, but they said Andrew was in no place to have Jace, which to me implies that maybe he may not be sober. They also said that Jace and Andrew did not know each other. And Jenelle actually says this as well in one of the interviews that she does. She's like, "Yeah, he's only met his dad, like, that was the 3rd time he met his dad, like, when I had him, he was there, and then last year they met one time, and then when he moved in with him." Wow. You sent a soon-to-be 16-year-old to live with a man that he's only met twice. One time, he was a newborn, so he didn't even know, wow, that's just anyways. And Jenelle admits that she has known from the time that she got pregnant with Jace that Andrew suffered with alcohol addiction. She knew this. She did not say, "Let me go make sure he's sober," right? Now, in an interview with, I think it's called like Forge or something, um, the guy asked her, "So did you reach out to Jace's dad and like ask for help?" And she was like, "Yeah, I did. It just got to where like I really needed help. And I mean, he's his dad. So yeah, I reached out to him and was like, hey, I need help with Jace. And he said he would like take him. So I was like, okay. And I felt like, you know what? You're his dad. He needs a male figure in his life. I'm having a hard time with him. So she admits in the interview on Forge's YouTube channel, I should have linked it. I will. I'll link it, you guys. She admits that it was her that reached out to Andrew and said, like, you need to get Jace. Now, in the interview that we're going to listen to, she makes it out like Jace insisted. Keep in mind, the source also said Jace did not want to go. But in the interview we're going to listen to, she's like, I tried to tell Jace, like, he wouldn't listen to me. So he needed to see it for himself. Girl, actually, if you wanted your son to see for himself that his dad was not sober, then you should have went booked a summer in Florida so they could hang out to show him. Don't send him down there by himself. And honestly, no, a kid doesn't have to see for themselves that their dad is a raging alcoholic. They can't step up. He's 16 years old almost, and his dad hasn't stepped up yet. His dad hasn't come in the picture yet. I mean, you don't even have to be. You could be blind and see that his dad's obviously not a good dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, some kids don't need to see it because it's already been seen. It's like it was already the picture's already been painted. Jace is 16 and his dad has been nowhere in sight. So then you're like, oh, well, I got to make sure he sees that he's also like an alcoholic, that, even if he goes to live with him, he's not going to step up. You just inflicted more trauma on that boy by doing that to him. All right, so let's read it. Sorry. On Wednesday, the fired Teen Mom star confirmed the Ashley's report that Jace was no longer living in Florida with his dad, despite Jenelle's previous claims that the father and son were doing great and that Jace's transition to live with his long lost dad was smooth. Also, on the interview with Forge, that's exactly what she said. Oh, he's doing great in Florida. They go fishing. They go out on the pier. They send me pictures. He's doing great. It's been a smooth transition. That's literally what she said on one YouTube video. And then, like, another interview drops the next day where all of a sudden, oh, he's no longer with his dad. It wasn't working out. Excuse me, girlfriend? He was there for a week. So when was it doing good? When were things working out? Like the first 24 hours? In an interview with Us Weekly, Jenelle admitted that Jace is back in Vegas and living at Casa de Jenelle. He's back at home with me, she said. He's doing good. He has his ups and downs like regular teenagers, but he's going through learning life lessons. I don't know. I have 6 kids. I would say if you do have a teenager that before the age of 16, you've had to call the cops on multiple times. He's ran away multiple times. I wouldn't say that's like regular teenager crap. I would say there's something amiss there. God, oh my goodness, if that's regular teenager crap, I mean, I got a 20-year-old. I got a 17-year-old. If I got to deal with like running away kids, if that's normal, I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's Jenelle saying no, it's not regular normal. Sorry. As the Ashley previously told you, Jenelle sent Jace to Andrew's home in Florida, sight unseen, and didn't personally go to check out the living accommodations and situation that her 15-year-old son would be staying in. Although she was assured by Andrew and his family that Andrew had changed, the Ashley's source in Florida told her that was not the case and that the situation at Andrew's home was not good. Andrew is in no way in the position to be raising a kid, especially one who barely knows him and didn't want to be there in the first place. Remember these words. Jace lasted less than 2 weeks at Andrew's. Andrew is not mature enough to raise a child by any means. In her new interview, Jenelle talked about how the living arrangement for Jace bombed. She said, Jace is like, I want to be back home. So Jace is home and he's doing fine. He's enjoying summer at the house. She did state that Andrew didn't turn out to be the stellar parent that Jace had hoped for. Color me shocked. Andrew, he's had his problems with alcohol since Jace has been a baby. So that was a big contributing factor. Jace just really needed to see it for himself, despite the fact that Jace did not want to go and the fact that you admit on a previous interview that you called Andrew yourself and was like, I need your help. So it seems like Jace didn't need to see it for himself. You needed Jace to see it. Well, here, honestly, let's be real. Jenelle could not handle him with no other options because Barbara's too old. Barbara can't handle him. David's nowhere around. David's sister's already tried and she couldn't do it. You're alone in Vegas. So your last resort was Andrew. And rather than going about it the correct way, in my opinion, which is actually vetting Andrew out and maybe going down there, everybody, like book a B&B for a month, and she could do it. She could afford it. If anybody, I mean, she can afford it. We've all seen her, the court documents of how much money she brings in a month. Go down there and vet him to see. But she was just going to throw Jace off on someone else. Like, oh, I can't handle him. You're his dad. You do it. That's why she did it. It wasn't because Jace needed to see anything for himself. Is that she was hoping that she could send Jace to Andrew and Andrew would be able to handle it. Now, what is it called when someone lies so much that they can't keep their story straight? It's like a mental condition. I know when somebody lies a lot. I forgot the word for it though. You could be more prone to be an addict if both your parents are addicts. Okay, so it says Jace really needed to see it for himself. But then I thought Andrew changed and he didn't. And we found that out and Jace came back home. Yeah, pathological liar, but I don't think that was maybe that was the word that I was looking for. As Teen Mom fans know, Andrew had not really had much to do with Jace, aside from sending a regular child support payment for the majority of the boy's life up until last year. Father and son began communicating via text, but did not know each other very well when Jace was sent to live with Andrew. As the Ashley previously told you, Jace did not want to go live with Andrew. The time had come where he met his dad, and the time had to come where he met his dad, and he did it. And he sees the true colors that I've been saying for years. But Jace didn't want to believe me and my mom. This sounds like a heap of garbage. Oh, he had to see it for himself. He didn't want to believe me and my mom. The boy didn't want to go. Allegedly, he didn't want to go. So, does it really sound like he needed to see or that he wasn't believing you guys? Because from what's being said, he didn't even want to go. While doing the interview about Jace, Jenelle claimed that she is trying to keep him very private. She did say that. She was like, oh, I'm really trying to keep him private. And then she goes on to talk about all of his business. Everyone's like begging for that information. And I keep telling him, I'm giving Jace his space. I keep telling them, I'm giving Jace his space. I'm not trying to put a camera in front of his face. I'm not trying to put all of his business out there. His business has been out there since he's been a baby and he had no choice. So right now, it's really important for him to keep it to himself. And then she, like I said, she proceeds to tell all about it didn't work out there. His dad drinking and, Jace is at home. He likes to work on dirt bikes and motorcycles and, maybe he'll be a mechanic. And anyways, word on the curb, you guys, is that we all know that Jace ran away on like a Monday, maybe a Tuesday. Jace runs away in Las Vegas. Jenelle is promoting her divorce party. She is promoting her OF. He is found or returns on a Thursday. He is either found or returned. We don't know for sure. Friday, she had him on a flight to Florida. Okay. Hey, baby girl. So on Friday, she had him on a flight to Florida. He gets there. He stays less than 2 weeks. Now, at that point, what happened was him and his dad drove to North Carolina, where he visited with Barb and where he met up with some friends. Once he was with his friends, he told Andrew, actually, I don't want to go back. Thank you, Colby. He was like, I don't want to go back. I don't like it there. I just want to stay here. Well, Barb's like, I can't really take you home. Like, it's a lot. I'm old. So he and his friends allegedly stayed in Janelle's house on the land. Hey, Dina. So allegedly, him and friends just stayed there at the house. And I'm sure if Jace did not go back with Andrew and he stayed at the house, I'm sure that was with Janelle's permission. I would have to imagine. So it seems she may have let her 15, soon to be 16-year-old live at the house on the land with friends with no supervision. Now, it makes sense because he left to go to his dad's on May 9th. So one report said he stayed about a week. So say he got there like May 10th. That would be the 17th that he got back down here. Got there on the 10th, on the 17th, or a few days, 17th, 18th, 19th, whatever. He goes to North Carolina. On the 20th, Barbara got pulled over by Janelle's house. Barbara doesn't live by Janelle's house. She lives like 45 minutes away, but she got pulled over very close to Janelle's house. And she told the officer she was having a family crisis, that she needed to get somewhere to find a bike key. Now, what would Janelle, why would she need to be finding a bike key? You know what kind of bike I think she's talking about? A dirt bike. I think Jace was at his mom's house, him and some friends. He wanted to ride his dirt bikes, couldn't find the keys, called May May and was like, I'm looking for my keys. I can't find them. Probably frustrated, because he, has some anger issues, and was like bipolar and ADHD. He probably doesn't regulate emotions good, especially if he's not on medication. So I think more than likely he called his May upset, probably frustrated because he couldn't find his bike key. And she was trying to get over there to help him find the bike key. And yes, the house has mold. So last I heard, she was like looking into hiring a team to go in to like clean all that up. I don't know if she ever did it. Let's hope so, since he allegedly, moved in, whatever. Well, then I think it was like around May 30th, Jenelle was in North Carolina herself. A lot of people was like, did she have court? What was she doing there? I think she went to North Carolina to pick Jace up, to bring him back home. So yeah, the word on the curve is him and Andrew drove to North Carolina. He met up with friends, saw Barbara. Once with friends, he's like, I don't want to go back. Janelle was like, just go stay at the house. Fine, whatever. He's at the house with friends. May runs to go try to help him find a bike key. She gets pulled over. It doesn't work out for whatever reason that it may be. I don't know. And then she flies down to pick him up and then brings him back home. He's allegedly back home with Jenelle. Now, the only thing is Janelle's not home at the time. Jenelle is actually in New York. She was doing press for her divorce party, and her divorce party is currently happening right now. And I know that her other two kids, Kaiser and Inslee, is actually being babysat by Nathan's estranged wife, May, who he is now reconnected with ever since he was arrested for DV against his girlfriend, Anna. So May just jumped right back in the saddle with Nathan. Like, oh, who cares that you literally, while I was going on a trip, you got into a relationship with someone else and told her that you and me were separated? Who cares that whenever I try to reach out to you to be like, what is going on? You were like, with somebody else, like, don't call me. Who cares that like for months you ignored me and flaunted this new girl all over social media about how much you love her. And you did lives talking about you've never been in love like this before. You guys were so public about how much you loved each other. Meanwhile, I'm your wife, and you just left me like I had some like horrible disease or something to be with this other girl, and you flaunted it in my face. But yeah, the second, you attack her and she presses charges and you're in jail, yeah, then I'm gonna take you back. I'm gonna jump right on that. Yeah, Jenelle hated May. They would talk crap about each other. May has made posts on Instagram, negative comments about Jenelle. Jenelle has said stuff about May. But now May is, Team Nathan. May actually showed back up at Anna's house the other day with the police again, unannounced, to get Nathan's things. And Anna finally was like, you know what? Fine, I'll pack his stuff up. You can have it. Like, I don't want it anyways. And she packed everything up except a phone that Nathan had bought her. And May allegedly even wanted the phone. It was like, what about the phone? And she's like, he bought that for me. Like, no, you're not going to get my phone. So, yeah, May is now like, her and Jenelle are brown nosing each other because they are both team Nathan. For whatever reason, Nathan did both of them extremely dirty. I can't even imagine like being treated that way by somebody and then having their back the way that they do, but whatever. So yeah, May is keeping Kaiser and Inslee. I don't know if she has them at her house or if she is at Janelle's house with them. But if she is at Janelle's house with them, then obviously Kaiser is probably there with them. If she's not, then I guess Kaiser's there alone. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that. She has been doing press for the divorce party that, like I said, is happening right now. And here's a quick clip, and then we're going to watch more of this. But here's where she forgot her own son's age.
What is it like? He's about to be, 16?
Yeah. Bear with me. Let me get that off because, all right.
What is it? What is it like? He's about to be 16?
Yeah.
That's
right? He's about to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh my God, isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
she said, well, actually, no, he's about to be 15. I mean, I get my kid's age wrong, for a second. But if somebody was like, your son, Caden, who's about to be 18, I think I would be like, yeah, he's about to be 18.
He's doing good.
He's doing good.
All right, so here's a bigger portion of the interview.
Yeah, I mean, he has his ups and downs, like regular teenagers, but like he's going through life, learning life lessons. And yeah, I've been trying to keep him.
I mean, maybe she was nervous. This is like the 4th interview she had done in like a couple of days, because she's been doing press for this divorce party. So I don't know, she's been on TV. Like, would she be nervous? I don't know. She's used to cameras, right? She's recorded documentaries on her YouTube channel. It was on TV for 10 years. She's done interviews before. She's done reunions. Would she be nervous? I don't know. Maybe. I guess it's possible.
Him very private.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people have been asking about him, but it's like everyone's like begging for that information, and I keep telling them like I'm giving Jace space.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to put a camera in front of his face. I'm not trying to, put all his business out there. I mean, his business has been out there since he's been a baby, and he had no choice. So right now, it's like it's really important for him to just, keep to himself.
Sure. Is he living with Andrew still? Because I know that you said that he wasn't in Florida anymore.
Yeah,
so
he's back at home with me.
He's back at home with you?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like how that went for him, or?
Yeah, well, just Andrew, he's had his problems with alcohol.
And you knew that?
Since Jace has been a baby.
Okay.
So that was the big contributing factor. And, Jace, just really needed to see it for himself. But then I thought he changed. And
that
he
doesn't
didn't.
make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Like, oh, well, I sent him to go live with his dad because he wanted to. And he wouldn't listen to me and his grandmother. So he needed to see it for himself, but like, but I thought he's changed. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. I thought he changed. So you thought he changed, but you was telling your son, well, you need to see it for yourself, even though you thought he changed? That doesn't make sense.
And, you know, we found that out, and Jace came back home, and
sorry.
Jace is like, I want to be back home.
Yeah.
So
I'm really
Jace
sorry.
is home.
Okay.
And he's doing fine.
He's doing
You know,
fine.
he's enjoying summer
Okay.
at the house.
Good.
So,
Yeah. But I'm sure that was a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? The time had to come where, you know, he met his dad, and he did it. And he sees the true colors that I've been saying for years, but Jace didn't want to believe me or mom, you know. So
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that he's back home and
Yeah.
doing well and enjoying the summer.
Yeah.
And he seems like he has a really great support system in
Yeah,
you.
yeah, definitely.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, what is it like? You know, he's about to be, what, 16?
yeah.
Hudson?
Well,
right?
he's about to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh my God, isn't
Yeah.
that insane?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you were a mom to a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
How did that even happen?
Yeah, no, he's like, he's so much like, it's just crazy because time has flown by.
yeah.
Literally flown by.
I mean, you only had it for 15 years, you know, I mean, barely 14 and a half, according to you.
And he's turned into he went from a little boy to a young man like overnight.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was super crazy.
Yeah.
But no, he's a big help around the house. Like he wants to do good in life, and he's really into dirt bikes and fixing them and four-wheelers and stuff like that. So maybe he'll be a mechanic. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you guys remember what she said? She did not say that he is 15. She said, oh, he's about to be 15. Well, Jenelle got called out on X over this, and this is what she had to say. Not that. Why does that keep doing this? Let's remove this one. All right, so imagine taking the time to listen to this. Imagine taking the time to dedicate every word that comes out of my mouth. Laffy, my haters are obsessed. I think she meant imagine taking the time to dissect every word that comes out of my mouth. But she said dedicate. I think she means dissect. And here I am dissecting it. And then she says, I'm pretty sure I know when I gave birth. Haters acting like I would get my child's age wrong. I said he's 15. Haters acting like I would get my child's age
Is
wrong.
it like, you know, he's about
I said he was 15.
to be, what, 16?
Yeah.
Hudson?
Well,
right?
he's about to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well,
right?
he's about to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well,
right?
he's about to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
right?
he's about to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well,
right?
he's about to be 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Just to make sure in case she watches this. And I mean, maybe she's nervous. I don't know. I mean, she shoots OnlyFans pictures. She posts them online. She's been on TV for 10 years. She has a YouTube channel. This was literally like her 4th interview in like 2 days. So maybe so. I don't know. But that's a stretch for me. Somebody posted and said, you said here on video, he's about to be 15. This is your go-to. Try and make it seem like others get it wrong. Why don't you just own up to it and say, I misspoke? Or better yet, actually parent your children so you know how old they are. I've worked with hundreds of kids and to this day remember birthdays and their age. Not knowing your kid's age isn't even the worst thing about this. Who dressed you today? Yikes. Not you trying to gaslight the internet when there's literally proof. All the interviews you do not have one of them. Wait, all the interviews you do not one of them are the same. You can't keep up with your lies. This is so true. You said he's about to be 15. This is so true. Actually, here is the other interview that she did. We'll see if this is close to the part where she talked about Jace. Let's see.
I'm giving them like more privacy because since they stepped away, like I'm trying not to post them as much online or like maybe a picture here and there on Instagram, but not anything like in their face. Because it's like the cameras have been in their face for so long that I'm stepping back and letting them, you know, just be kids. But my oldest one, Jace, he gets noticed. He's 15. So he gets noticed a lot of places he goes to and he gets annoyed with it. And he just wishes people would know him for him. and not because they made the connection with him in the show. And I told him, since he was like 8, I said, listen, you're going to have to pick and choose the rest of your life who's good enough to be in your life. I said, because unfortunately you were on this show and people are going to want to be your friend just because you're on the show. Yeah. So there's like a whole nother, not just trusting people personally, but there's a whole different dynamic to, do they watch the show? Are they being genuine with me right now? Or are they just like, oh, I searched this up, so I want to be Jace's friend?
Does he have a good like friend validity detector to know?
He does. And he has a very small, close friends, like 2 or 3 really good friends that he goes to all the time to talk to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you meet those friends?
School.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. In the neighborhood, which it's hard here in Vegas because the high schools are,
For those of you that don't know, we're in Las Vegas and the school systems here suck.
Okay, he may say a bad word here. Hold on, let me skip through this.
That's what I do.
Struggling with
Hold on, sorry. I wish I would have had time to jump through this to see where she talked about Jace, but I do think it's close to where she says that she's the one that called Jace's dad. That's what I really want you guys to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I spend my money on trips for them.
I get goosebumps. Like that's like the best thing ever.
Oh, definitely.
My daughter goes to a performing arts high school here in town.
Okay.
And so she's a theater kid. So 2 years ago, took her to Broadway.
That's cool.
We saw Hamilton on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like winning dad moment ever.
Yeah.
My daughter was 13 at the time, did that, went to a Yankee game, had a blast. To go, honey, if you ever go down this road, here's the pros are here on Broadway.
Exactly. Yeah. I took my kids to Broadway when they were my stepdaughter and my oldest son. I took them to see The Lion King.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they love that.
Great
and that was
show.
in New York City.
Great
so,
show.
Yeah.
We're actually, it's funny. We're kind of blessed here with the Smith Center that we get decent shows here.
Oh, there's shows all around Vegas. Yeah.
I'm in Henderson. Love it.
It's from everywhere.
Yeah.
So you got all this different mixing of like different cultures.
Competitive here. You've got about a year
I'm going to see if I can skip around to find what I'm talking about, you guys.
ish. And if you don't make it, you're out.
Oh no, definitely.
Right?
Definitely. Which a lot of people think again that they have to stay at the Strip, and it's like there's other business opportunities everywhere. Oh yeah, and they're building the new like studios here.
Mhm.
Yeah, the new Sony Studios?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like
so that'll be
Mark
interesting.
Wahlberg is spearheading that whole thing. I was in Irvine yesterday, and it's Southern California. People were hemorrhaging. They're leaving.
Yeah.
The thing I noticed, I was there yesterday. I'm looking around.
Like was it Iron Man?
Mhm.
And then actually was an extra on Eastbound and Down.
We really?
About to head to Myrtle Beach, and they were no way. I don't have custody of my kids, which I've seen a lot of comments like, you need to go watch your kids. You need to make sure they're okay. And it's like, I'm with them every single day. Every single day. I'm the one picking them up, dropping them off. I'm a single mom now. Been a single mom since I've been in Vegas. So really, I do it all on my own. And it's all on my shoulders, which I'm not complaining. I'm glad. And I'm a lot more peaceful in life, like without having a man there than having a man there. And I feel like that everyone's not walking on eggshells, you know?
And your kids, I hope, see the work you're putting in.
Definitely.
Right?
They are. And if they just like hear that if they overhear me talking on the phone, and if we're talking about like, if I'm talking about haters comments or whatever, my son, he's like, why is everyone so mean to you, mom? And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's okay. So like my other younger kids, they don't have social media.
Do you read the comments?
I
Social media
post,
comments?
I read a little bit here and there, but like usually I post and that's it. Because if you sit there and start reading comments, you go down this rabbit hole, and instead of all the good comments standing out to you, all the bad comments are just going to stand out. Those are the ones that are going to scream in your head. And then all of a sudden you're depressed and you're like, I'm in a bad mood. And then you're like, no one talk to me.
It's
Including my
so
kids.
toxic. A lot of times it's bots. It's not even a real person.
Yeah, I noticed
is
that
right.
too. Mhm.
And so something I've learned.
Let me just say that this guy was like, I'm not in the reality TV world. Like, I don't really know much about it. I don't know how Jenelle got this interview with him, because he literally said at the beginning, I don't know anything about the reality TV world.
To do because I've been a content creator for years. I have clients that are, and it's something that you post and maybe do a comment saying, let's see your comments,
Mhm.
and then don't look at it again.
I'll reply to some fans
Walk
and be
away.
like, thank you for that. Thank you for this. But I only reply to positive people
Good, yeah.
because I feel like, you just can't feed into the negative
Don't
stuff.
give it's. And my wife told me this. It's validating to the trolls. If
Yeah.
you're talking.
You want to go, have dinner? She said, sure. And, we agreed that we just wanted to hash the beef out over dinner, and everything was fine. She's doing great. Because I think that either if I'm dating someone, I can change that of the doubt when I first meet them, like her, just because of her reputation. Probably that way all the time.
Yeah.
Talk about it, give her opinion, which would be bad. Then they'd come to me and be like, hey, we heard your mom said this.
Try to skip around, you guys, to find where she talks strictly about Jace.
positive thing. What type of message would you want to put out? What type of soapbox would you be on for, to talk to somebody that I've never said this before in my entire life. I'm 55 years old. If I was a pregnant 16-year-old girl, and the guy was maybe there a little bit, my parents were still trying to figure ourselves out because the whole thing, what kind of advice would you give to me?
I would say, learn your independence now and learn you can't rely on anybody but yourself, and that your parents aren't there to be your crutch, and you got to force yourself to grow up, whether it's with him or without him. You got to be strong enough to do that. And it's hard.
That's having that strength.
Yeah.
My friend is like, oh my God.
She wanted to be the one to do everything. And I feel like I wasn't really given that opportunity until my younger son, Kaiser, was born.
Can you give me an example of how she tried to push?
So the first few days he came home, I was making a bottle and she told me I wasn't doing it the right way. So then I did it the right way after that, and it still wasn't good enough. I would put certain outfits on him and she'd be like, no, he doesn't look good in that. I'm changing it, and change his whole outfit. And I'm like, is this even my baby? Yeah. So, and then when I was trying to figure out his sleep schedule, she would try to tell me what's better in her way versus my way. So
how do you figure out a newborn baby's sleep schedule? I mean, they usually just sleep all the time. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of parenting styles, I think, clashing.
Was that stuff on film? Did the producers pick up on that?
Yeah, some of it was on film. When she changed his clothes, she claims on camera that I didn't make bottles, but I did. So it's they used her audio saying I never made bottles, but I was making bottles. And I was trying everything I could to teach myself as a new mom. But in her eyes, she just still, I guess, looked at me as her child and thought that I wasn't old enough, which I understand, but that's why you got to let your child just find their independence.
Let your kids fail, man.
Yeah.
Let your kids fail.
You can't baby them too much. You can't hold their hand during everything.
Thank you.
Yes.
You just can't. And now I think it's generation Y, Z.
She's definitely not holding her kid's hand through anything, is she?
Whatever it is. The kids now, they're like 15 to 25, whatever that age range is, getting fired from their first job in droves because they're not showing up on time.
Yep.
And they don't take constructive criticism well. They take it too personally.
Yeah, they're very sensitive.
And they're being offended.
Very.
Shut the
Who
fuck
else is
up.
very sensitive?
You're an In-N-Out burger. Mash the goddamn potato and make a tough call to have Jay stay with his dad to focus on his health. How did you?
Thank you, Toasted. Barb needs to force Jenelle to say thank you. Yeah, forcing her would be hard to do, but Jenelle owes her mama thank you for sure. Thank you, Toasted.
Arrive at that choice. And how's he doing now?
So,
back it up.
Jace,
I say figure it out more than I love you to my kids. And I love my kids.
Yeah.
But it's figure it the hell out.
Yeah, exactly. You can't and there's Google. If anything, Google it. Yeah.
A question about Jace. At one point you made the tough call to have Jace stay with his dad to focus on his health. How did you arrive at that choice, and how's he doing now?
So Jace, he's diagnosed with two mental health disorders, ADHD and ODD, which is oppositional defiant disorder. And it comes along with ADHD. And I've been dealing with that with Jace since he's been 10 years old, and so is my mom. And what a lot of people don't realize is they think that it was just one incident at my house and then I shipped him off to his dad's. When really there's
nobody thinks that, and everybody knows that's not the case. I don't know why she keeps saying that. Did this man not do research on Jenelle? No, he clearly did not. And y'all, the second interview that she did that I watched was crazy. The lady that interviewed her was obsessed with Jenelle. I was I've watched you. Oh my goodness, I grew up with you. I just love you. And she praised Jenelle. It made me want to barf. I was whoever owns that radio station, you should be embarrassed at the way what do they call them? What do they call them people that work the radios? I used to be one. I don't even remember. But what do they call them? You should be ashamed, because this girl was obsessed with Jenelle. And we'll watch a clip from it. Hold on.
So much stuff that's been happening for so many years. And I don't go into detail for his privacy.
Sure.
But there's a lot of physical things that happened.
I don't go into details for his privacy, but there was a lot of physical things that happened. And,
my mom, he's 5'3". I'm 5 feet. First of all, I can't buck up to my son. I can't do nothing to my son. I'm not going to. He's almost a grown man to me, which is crazy to say. Yeah. So, I don't do anything, but he needed his dad, and his dad hasn't been involved in his life since he's been a baby. So it was time. And everyone's like, why'd you send him to a stranger? But that's his dad. That's his other side of his family. And they've actually been keeping in contact and visiting with each other the past 2 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
They visited once.
So they've
Healthy.
been reconnecting. Yeah, they've been texting each other, and I know, and I've been monitoring everything. And his family says that his dad was an alcoholic, but his family says that his dad is sober now, and that was years ago when I was like 16. So they're doing great. I mean, ever since I sent him there, they sent me pictures of them fishing. He's in Florida, so they went out on the beach. They eat at the pier. Like
Love
they
it.
do so many good things, and they're not posting about it, which is great.
Good.
Because I told his dad, I said he needs privacy.
They're not posting about it because it probably wasn't happening. She did this interview, and literally the next day after this interview, we find out that he's back home.
Right now. And my son doesn't even like to post. So he tries to keep his life as private as possible. And I explained that to his dad.
Were you the one that reached out to his dad?
Yes.
Of course you were.
Yes.
Because you want to fix the situation.
Yes.
'Cause you're a
And
fixer.
I was just kind of like, I'm here in Vegas. I have 3 kids. If my oldest is being so bad that it's not a good situation for my younger 2 kids, I can't have everyone here in the same household. And again, walking on eggshells a lot around my son. So like, I wanted to protect my 2 younger kids, and I also need all kids to be in a good situation. So before, I looked into anywhere to send him, which I have.
See, that's literally where she admits she called Andrew and was like asking to send Jace to Andrew.
In the past for like boys' homes and stuff. But that's another thing I want to bring up is a lot of parents, they're asking me, how are you dealing with this? Because I don't know what to do with my kids because my kids are diagnosed with the same thing and they feel like they're losing their minds. And when they go to their state for help, they're like, well, you can send them to this place, but there's a waiting list. And then the waiting list will have like 100 people and you need a spot right then and there. So then you go look at private stuff and it's like $30,000 a month, $1,000 a day or more. I mean, that's the cheapest one I found. So a lot of people are.
I don't think she's really looking. Thank you, Ruth, for the super sticker. Tosa says, can you bring this guy interview Jay on your show? I don't really know him. I just don't think he did his homework. I think Jenelle has like a management team that reached out to them and was like, hey, can she come on your podcast? This is who she is. They probably just looked her over and was like, yeah, sure. When was this recorded? I'm not exactly sure, but I do know in the interview when they talk about the divorce party, he was like, okay, when is the divorce party? She was like, it's going to be, I think she said this Thursday. And he said, okay, yeah, we'll get this up before then so we can promote it. Because like she went there, I think, like she's been doing all these interviews, I think, to promote that. And so when she told him, like, yeah, I'm having this party, he's like, okay, when is it? She's like, this Thursday. And he's like, okay, yeah, we'll try to make sure we get it up by then so people will know about it from this video. So let me see when it was put up though. It says 8 days ago. I wonder when it was recorded. Maybe 2 weeks. He's been back home with her since the 30th, from my understanding. So maybe she recorded it right before he came home. I mean, that's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility that she recorded this before he came home. But still, the way that she's saying on one interview that Jace wanted to go, that he needed to see, that he didn't believe her and her mom when they were telling him that, his dad was no good. Oh, he had to see it for himself. He wouldn't believe us. So he went to go. He wanted to, whatever. Then in this one, she straight up tells the guy, oh, I contacted his dad. The source says Jace did not want to go. So she's like, her story changes, Okay, absolutely. Exactly, daughter of the king, I agree. Why hasn't she considered her own sister Ashley to have Jace live with? I get they don't get along, but she works in mental health and their kids are cousins. I don't know, but Ashley did say, someone asked Ashley if she would ever take Jace in if need be, and she was like, yeah, I would. So anyways, you guys, we're at almost 45 minutes. I just wanted to hop on and show you guys how she got her son's name wrong, how her son is back with her, how she sent her son to go live with a stranger without doing her due diligence to protect her son. I don't even know, like for a mom to not even, like knowing that his dad has been nowhere in the picture really, knowing that his dad suffers with addiction, just put him on a flight to go live with a man that he probably feels like he doesn't even know. like, I just can't understand it. I can't understand it. It can't understand it. Does David have a son from a previous relationship? He does. Yes, his son's name is Caden. And unfortunately, Caden's sister just passed away. Yeah, actually, one of my friends like looked into places like that, and I mean, yeah, they're expensive, but they take insurance, and I mean, if they don't, like, I think you can find some cheaper. You could. Why isn't she using her resources? You know, maybe if you don't even have to be committed, like get him into therapy. I don't know, something. Are divorce parties common? It doesn't seem like a thing you should celebrate. Well, I've never had a divorce, so I don't know, but yeah, I've heard of some people having divorce parties and like burning their wedding dress. So, anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. I saw that and sent you the video from E! News on IG about the sister passing away due to the seizure she had. It's really sad because yesterday, where I live, a guy that I went to school with, earlier yesterday, found out that his house burnt down. Really nice house. He has like 5 kids. They run a church, and the church building is beside the house. So find that out yesterday, and then after that, find out that someone else that I know that really good friends with, her nephew, his son passed away, 4 years old. They think he had a seizure in the bathtub and he drowned. The mom stepped away because she had a little baby. She stepped away to go like get the little baby and bring the little baby back. And yeah, so a lot of like horrible stuff happening lately. But anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. She never mentioned her illness. Yeah, you know she got some because goodness. 1K a day is definitely not through insurance, right? Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure, if you guys want, tomorrow we're going to be live over on TikTok to watch the Mama June show. I wanted to try to make sure I could do 2 TikToks a week, but this week there's just been a lot going on, and I wanted to make sure I could do at least 2 Facebook lives a week, but there's just been a lot going on. So I haven't been able to. I do apologize. And then next week we're going to be on vacation from, we are leaving Wednesday night. So I will work up until Wednesday, may make a few posts on Facebook. Maybe once I'm there, like once the kids go to bed, I may do like a TikTok live or something if something happens. I'm feeling super down. Any advice on how to stay positive? Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You know, just whatever's going on that you got you down, just remember that it's temporary. In time, like in time, everything, life is all about seasons. You'll have a season of, you know, being super stressed out over things, but it always changes. You're never going to be in the same season for too long. If you just have a lot going on in life right now, just know that it will always get better. It's always going to get better. You know, maybe just watch something that you enjoy. Watch like an Adam Sandler movie on Netflix or something, you know, something that'll make you laugh to try to get out of your head or something. You know, I don't know what's going on, but just remember that nothing lasts forever. No pain lasts forever. Whatever's going on today, you know, by next week, it may not even be a thought in your head. So just try to keep that in mind that next week you may be having the best time ever. You know, something great may happen to you. So I tell this to my children all the time. Don't ever stay in the moment too long with sadness because everything always gets better. Not going to say that they don't get bad again because that's life. You know, when you're an adult, like you definitely go through trials and tribulations to where you have your highs and you have your lows. And sometimes your lows can be really low, but you can also have those highs that can be really high. And you feel like it's, you know, you're living at the best time possible and you're just, you know, super happy about everything going on in your life. And so just try not to get too down about whatever is going on in your life. Because I do have 6 kids and my son, he just had a friend unalive himself the other day and he come in my office and told me about it. And, you know, talked with him. I've talked to my daughter about that's always been a fear of mine that, you know, children not, struggling to regulate their emotions and not understanding that nothing lasts forever. I've always been super scared that like one of my kids might would do that. Not because they've ever made me feel like they would, just because I know so many kids that have. I went to school with one guy, the first girlfriend he had, she broke up with him like 2 years after dating, and he went home and went into his bedroom and did that. And, I'm always just, I don't know, something in the back of your mind, like, oh my goodness, I hope nothing like that ever happens to my kids. So just keep it in mind. Don't ever make any permanent decisions on like a moment's feeling. Or what is that saying? Like, don't ever make a permanent decision on temporary feelings. That's what it is. Don't ever make a permanent decision on temporary feelings, especially something that you can't take back or you can't change. Things will get better. I promise you, things will get better. Sometimes I'm in my head and I feel like, I'm going through the worst time possible. But then days later, I'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I love my life. Like, I'm just so blessed. And, so permanent decision on temporary feelings. Yes. Sorry, it took me a minute. But anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to try to get out here early to do a Facebook Live and do my makeup with you guys. No promises, though, because it's been rough lately, but I'm going to try. See? My son was super depressed his freshman year in high school. He is 19 now. Is becoming a pilot. Yeah. Wow, just re-listening to this video. I wasn't wondering, did Anna get to keep her phone? She did. I have that fear too. I've been to 4 funerals. Yes. That has been a huge, yeah. Anyways, you guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Y'all have a great night.